Good morning and welcome to the Franchise Minute. I'm Anna Wilds, the franchise economist. Today's topic is moving services franchises. If you're new to the Franchise Minute, here's the format. We'll watch a 60-second video, the Franchise Minute, on this topic, and then there'll be 15 minutes of live questions and answers. You're welcome to type in your questions on whatever social media platform you're joining us on, and I'll provide the answers. We'll begin in just a moment. We're going to allow a few more people to log on. We had a good number of people who registered for this event, and we are now ready to begin. So here's the Franchise Minute video. Welcome to the Franchise Minute. I'm Anna Wilds, the franchise economist, and today's topic is moving franchises. As we all know, moving services are at their peak in the summer. Did you know that the average American moves 11.7 times in their lifetime? I certainly can relate to that. I feel like I've done at least that, and I'm not done moving. According to the latest data, 8.4% of Americans moved. That is 28 million people. And last year, the moving service industry reached a market share of $22.5 billion. And it has grown annually 3% over the last several years. Now, moving involves what we're very familiar with, local or long distance truck transportation of our household goods, and there's also a commercial component to it. It also includes packing services and storage. To learn more, contact me, Anna Wilds, the franchise economist. Thanks for watching the Franchise Minute, and keep watching it. Subscribe to the Anna Wilds YouTube channel. See you next time. All right, very good. In the past 5 years, I have moved 3 times, and I plan on moving again in about a year after a condominium I purchased is renovated. That's a lot of moving, and I tell you what, I'm not alone. It sounded like 28 million other people are in the same boat as me, needing to move. Okay, first question that's come in is, what moving services am I seeing now is being really in demand? Well, thank you for that question. Here's the thing. Every market has multiple moving companies in them. Why? Because the demand is there. There's no one company that has 100% market share of moving services in any given market. That's why I call it, and these are essential services. So moving services are my favorite category of franchise, which the ones I call steady eddies. They do well no matter what. They compete well against independent local businesses that are in existence in any market. They do well regardless of what's happening, regardless of the political winds in the country, regardless of global events and that sort of thing. And not only that, let me point out a couple other things. I already mentioned that they're essential services. They're also not affected by technology, okay, meaning they won't become obsolete with the advent of technology. Like AI is not going to make the need and demand for moving services to go away. Moving cannot be, ordered over Amazon. Okay, they can't pack up your household goods and transport them 1,000 miles or even 3 blocks away. This is something that only people can do. And also, another thing is moving services aren't, sent overseas. They can't be offshored and imported into the country and then done. So they're immune to a lot of things that affect other businesses like Amazon, technology, and maybe cheaper manufacturing overseas. So that's why I really am a fan of moving services, other essential services, and other steady eddy franchises. Next question is, how much money can I make from a moving services franchise? Great question. I get that asked all the time. People say, "What, just tell me what franchise I can make the most money with, and I'll go with that." Well, there are over 4,500 different franchises, and there are many, many, many franchises that provide excellent ROI, return on your investment of both your time and your money. The best way to find out how much money you can make from any given franchise is to talk to the individual franchisees of the company you're exploring and ask them what has been their top line revenue, what are their main operating expenses, how much working capital do they need or did they need, do they wish they had had, and you'll get that information directly from franchisees, franchise owners within a particular brand that you're interested in. That's the single best way. There's people say, what's the average? Well, with 4,500 franchises, there is no average that would be meaningful to someone looking at a particular franchise or a particular moving franchise. Just interview and talk to the existing franchisees to get that information. Doesn't it make sense that would be the most accurate source and the most current source of information? Okay, so thank you for that question, a very good one. Is this really a good time to get into the moving services business? I'll tell you, that's a question I get regularly. I think it's difficult and really impossible and really not necessary to time getting into any business. Why is that? Because economic cycles change. Up markets follow down markets follow up markets. I mean, the economy will always change. It never stays the same. So when you're ready to become a business owner, that is the best time to get into a business, whether it's a moving business or any other business. I know people are concerned now because of the tight labor market. Well, a great question to ask any franchise you're exploring, including moving franchises, is does the franchisor have any mechanisms in place to help their franchisees source or find the local talent that they need for their franchises? And what you're going to find, last week we had trash and junk removal franchises. One of the franchises has a national call center that's very helpful, both taking care of the customers and potential employees calling. They have job descriptions. They have an interview process that people on the headquarters team participates in. But of course, the final decision is up to each individual franchisee who he or she hires or chooses not to hire. But job descriptions, helping them source whatever locations there are online. There was a particular website that they went to that had to do just with movers, and they need to recruit there. And so that sort of expertise is something I would ask any potential franchisor about is, how do you help or do you help with the recruiting or sourcing of potential employees? So that's a good question there. All right. So is there a good time to get into the moving services business? I think, there's no time like the present. There have been plenty of businesses that have been started in down economies that have become, global icons. Microsoft is one. I think Apple was as well. So, just timing it, I just don't really, I'm not a big fan of that. All right, next question is, how much does a moving services franchise cost? Well, there is some variation there. When it comes to just sort of like on the low end, when it's just, typical household moving services on the low end, the financial The minimum financial requirements of the franchise is about $70,000 of liquidity or non-finance cash that the potential franchisee has. And they also look for a net worth of at least $200,000. Now, on the high end is a moving franchise that also has portable storage containers. And so that's going to be a much higher investment level because of the number of containers that are necessary for that particular franchise. They do moving services as well as short and long-term storage of household goods. And so they're looking for a minimum of $300,000 in liquidity or non-finance cash that the potential franchisee has to invest, as well as a net worth of over $1 million. 1.2 million is what they look for. So quite a range there. Okay, let's see what the next question is, and potentially the last question, but just because of time. Oh, who makes a good owner of a moving service franchise? Here's my take on it. Like many businesses, the moving services business is a people business. People who can take care of their employees and who can take care of their customers and have that mindset are going to do very well as a moving services franchisee. I want to tell you the story about someone named Anna that I worked with. She wanted me to present to her a commodity. A lot of people see moving services as a commodity. She looked at a flooring franchise, a painting franchise. A lot of these are considered commodity services. What her mindset about it was, I will take better care of my employees and I will take better care of my customers than anyone else out there. And with a mindset like that, success surely follows. So people with good people skills will do very well. People who want to be active in their local community would do very well with a moving services franchise. There's no one particular background that I've seen that just, knocks it out of the park with moving services franchises. If you've got that people orientation, that right there is probably the single biggest attribute that you can bring to being successful with a moving services franchise. Veterans do very well with service franchises in general, including moving franchises. Husband and wife teams do very well. People with corporate backgrounds do well. People with sales backgrounds do well. People without a sales background do well. It's just if you have people skills, you understand that you're in the people business, you're helping people move from one location to another or store their household goods for them, you're going to do very, very well as a moving services franchise. And also, if you're looking for what I call Steady Eddie, something that provides an essential service that's immune to Amazon technology advancements and the changing political winds, moving services is definitely an area that you'll want to pay attention to. All right, we're out of time now. Thank you for joining us. I'm Anna Wilds, the franchise economist. Subscribe to the Anna Wilds YouTube channel. Keep coming back, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.